Our region faces a big challenge as we look ahead into the next decade, elevating, retaining, and attracting enough skilled workers to replace the retiring baby boom generation and filling new jobs being created in everything from autonomous vehicles to petrochemical manufacturing and construction. The Allegheny Conference on Community Development, which co-produces this program, spelled it all out in an update to its landmark inflection point report, which identified a shortfall between the number of people we need and the number of prepared people in the pipeline. The big question, what do employers, educators, and yes, students and workers need to do about it? Well, Donna Hudson is a member of the conference's Workforce Committee, managing director and Pittsburgh regional manager of BNY Mellon, which is one of our region's largest employers in the financial services sector. Dmitri Shiry spearheaded the update to the inflection point report. He's Pittsburgh managing partner for Deloitte, and welcome. Good to have you both here.
Bill?
Thank you, Bill.
Great to be back.
Yeah, and Dmitri, I'll start quickly with you. I know we talked about this a couple of weeks ago in general about the report, but one of the things that struck me was this 80,000 gap, which the report identified 18 months ago. The original inflection report is still 80,000. Should we be concerned about that as a community 2 years into this effort?
Not only should we be concerned about it, but we should begin to mobilize around it. And one of the areas that I would consider and that the report would consider as low-hanging fruit is the ability to retain many of the postgraduate students who come to Pittsburgh for an education. So again, when you look at the 10-county region, on an annual basis, we graduate directionally about 40,000 students from vocational, certification, community college, and four-year degree programs. But we're only retaining 20,000 of those 40,000 individuals here in Western Pennsylvania. So there is an immediate opportunity to do a better job of retaining that talent here in the community in order to address the types of job opportunities that exist.
You bump that up by a few thousand a year, going a long way toward narrowing that 80,000 gap.
Absolutely.
I would think over a 10-year period. But and so that's one thing that employers can do. Donna, are there other things employers need to think about to begin to really get ahead of this?
Well, I think all of us in the Pittsburgh region as employers need to take this very seriously and with a distinct sense of urgency. Right? We need to switch our mindset from simply being consumers of talent to being strategic investors in our region's labor pool. And we need to be leading the change. And one thing I think we need to consider too is that there's really two constituencies here we're talking about. One is that talent pipeline, right? The future employees we're going to hire. But to the retention point, we have an existing workforce that we need to be considering and what their skill sets are and whether they're matching the needs that we have. And in the current inflection point report, we encapsulate both near-term and longer-term things that every employer in Pittsburgh can do to help solve these challenges.
Yeah, Donna, if I can just extend on that for a moment, when you talk about the existing workforce and investing in that component, one of the things that came out of the inflection point study, as you well know, is the fact that it identified that 900,000 jobs that exist today will exist tomorrow, but they will be done very differently because of the exponential impact on technology. So there is this ongoing need to upskill and up-credential employees that are currently in the labor force today.
Well, I remember too, yeah, when the original report came out, a lot of attention being paid to the 300,000 or so jobs that will have to be filled over the next decade or so. But there is this issue of 1 million or so folks who are still going to be around, but the jobs are all going to change so dramatically.
Oh, that's true. But so as employers, we need to ensure that we have a pathway for upward mobility for all. Right? We need to make sure that we have the training and development available on an ongoing basis that will allow our employees to be prepared to fill those skill needs that are going to be coming down the pipe at them. And there's a variety of ways we can do that. I mean, we can be working with workforce boards, with the community colleges, with outside training organizations even, that will help us to develop programs that we can use to get at those core skills. Because no matter what the jobs are, there's going to be a set of core skills that we're going to need broadly across our individual organizations. We need to develop those and to work on having our employees ready to be responding.
And Donna, to that point, I do think that provides an opportunity for even better collaboration between the business community and the academic environment to truly identify what those skills and competencies that are in demand and are required in order to function in today's labor force. And that's where I think there is a bridge that we can narrow going forward with respect to the very types of activities that you have addressed.
We only have a minute or so left on it, but one point I really do want to focus on, because it's come up again and again, is the whole issue of job postings and the tendency employers seem to have here to sort of overly inflate job requirements, and that actually gets in their own way.
Oh, absolutely gets in the way. I mean, the Inflection Point report found that it is a common practice in the Pittsburgh region to actually ask for education and experience that's more than the job really needs. So my fellow employers and I need to be taking a very focused look, a very critical look at our job postings and saying, are we really asking for the things we need, and do we have opportunities to better size that? And if our analysis finds that we really do have opportunity, then we need to get involved in that. The people in our organizations who can make the change, who do the recruiting, and who are empowered to make the difference as we go forward.
Yeah, the pool may be actually bigger than we think if you're being more creative in terms of the way you approach the hiring process.
Absolutely. I mean, we even should think seriously about expanding to non-traditional employees. How are we finding those people and putting them into our pipeline? People who might be coming right out of high school, who might be coming back into the workforce, or might be currently underemployed.
Yeah, Dmitri, you hope this updated version of Inflection Point will be something of a wake-up call for employers?
I actually think the initial launch of Inflection Point really served as a catalyst to enhancing and elevating the conversation, and now it's about action. It's about taking the reins and doing something about it. And it's great to see that there are several employers in the Pittsburgh community that have done just that, as well as many of the academics who have embraced Inflection Point and are now incorporating it into their overall curriculum and their strategic vision for the future.
All right, a lot of work left to do. Dmitri Shiry from Deloitte, Donna Hudson from BNY Mellon, both from the Allegheny Conference. Thank you both so much. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, Bill.
Well, when we return, tapping a ready and willing talent pool, people with disabilities. We'll learn why Goodwill is celebrating the power of work. Stay with us.